All right, today we're going to go through Atraxa, just like we said. She immediately makes you an arch enemy at your pod. So I built this deck to be Super Friends. It's pretty fun. Has about a 25% win rate. I've been playing it for about 5 years now, I'd say. And I've slowly been adding to it. So you'll see cards in here that don't quite make sense. It's always a work in progress. Let's get right down into the Super Friends themselves. We have Narset. She's usually looking for instants and sorceries, but she works really well with planeswalkers too, so she can help us find her friends. Garrick, he's not that great of a planeswalker in his apex predator form, but he likes to destroy stuff, and he's a big threat on the table, so I like him. Unraveler's Secrets. There's a few Jaces in here. This is not the latest one, but he does have a great ult, so I'd like to hit that -8. He's one of the win conditions in here. Narset, the one that likes to lock people down with a draw, so not too many people like when this hits the board. Teferi. Ashiok, same type of thing as Narset. People don't like not being able to search their libraries, but I don't have any tutors in here either. So just trying to make it an even playing field. JTMS, Tamio the Moon Sage, Kaya, the big Ugin, use him like his ult. He's one of the planeswalkers that you'll try to find if you do have a fetch card like a Liliana that we'll see later on. Tamio, another Tamio, another Teferi. The Wandering Emperor, I replaced the Wanderer with her, so that was pretty cool. Vraska is not that great of a planeswalker, but she has a win con on her, so I found this deck has sometimes gets a little too dirtily and needs ways to win, and she has a way to win. Oko is obviously overpowered. Kiora can help us with some ramp. There's Liliana, who can search libraries, but also card draw, win condition. She's all around great card. We're already to artifacts, so you can't pack too many planeswalkers in a Super Friends deck because you need enablers and things to make them go off. A bunch of planeswalkers by themselves aren't really going to help you win any games. It's not going to be all that fun, so you need to find ways to abuse them. And we have a Contagion engine. I don't have a lot of poison counters in here or infect. So, but I still decided to run Contagion Engine for the Proliferate and as this board wipe. Felwar, Soul Ring, Balmatic, I think is very underrated. When you flip it, it can remove somebody from combat, so that's always nice. Arcane Signet, Honor-Worn Shaku. You don't typically have to tap your planeswalkers for anything, so Honor-Worn Shaku makes all your planeswalkers sources of mana. Astral Cornucopia with Proliferate and Atraxa out. This thing just gets bigger and bigger. Chromatic Lantern. Everflowing Chalice is the same thing as the other one, where you just keep putting counters on it. Now we're all the way to our enchantments. And of course, Smothering Tithe is overpowered, so it's in here. Doubling Season. It's one of the pickups that, I had to check my wallet to pick up, but it was worth it for this deck since this is my favorite deck. Ristic Study, you need to be able to draw into stuff. And Inexorable Tide is great for proliferating all the time. Oath of Nissa, Oath of Teferi, these are the only two oaths that I run in here. You could run a lot more than that, but the oaths aren't all that great once you get past those two. Smuggler's Share, great draw. Phyrexian Arena, draw. I like the draw. I don't like the fetch, but I like the draw. Black Market Connections for the draw. Ghostly Prison. I had Propaganda in here, but a few complaints from my pod that it was getting a little too pillow forty, so just one Ghostly Prison. And we're back to creatures. Birds of Paradise. It's just a mana dork that helps for a little ramp. Our commander is 4 different pips of color, so we need ways to hit those pips of color. Deep Glow Skate has just an amazing ability on it. when you're using counters of any type. So that little fish thing made its way in here. Flux Channeler, another proliferate creature. Evolution Sage, ditto. Karth the Lion makes Planeswalkers' abilities add extra counters when you use them, or cost less counters when you use them. The little additional +1 to activate. It's kind of nice. Spark Double. It's great for copying pretty much anything in this deck. Kethis, Pier, Esper for the draw, Riki for the draw, Vorinclex is like a doubling season with the body. And we're on to sorceries. So we have some game winner sorceries, a lot of big sorceries in here, a few removals, and Toxic Deluge is one of my favorite removals, so it makes its way in here. Elder Spell is great. Removing other people's planeswalkers, I mean, screw those guys. Let's get more counters on ours. Eerie Ultimatum and Primeval's Glorious Rebirth. These two are awesome. You load up your graveyard with all sorts of stuff that you want to bring back, cast one of these, and it's pretty intimidating for your entire pod. Supreme Verdict, Slaughter the Strong. Atraxa has 4 power, so she's one of the few creatures that we have. We don't run a ton of creatures, so you use this and just keep her around. Merciless Eviction, and a few ramp cards, Rampant Growth, Farseek. And we're on to instants. I think we have a total of 3 in here. We're not looking to be a fast deck, not interact on other people's turns. So Cyclonic Rift still will draw you some hate. Swords to Plowshares and Mana Drain. Help you get out one of them big Ugins. And now all that we have left is the land base. And it's pretty simple. We have some fetch lands. All of them. I like to thin the deck, so I got the red in here, even though we don't have red cards. We got more dual lands. You need something to fetch, so got some shock lands, the ones that we can play. And we have these lands where you need 2 or more opponents. So hoping to get these down before anybody folds out of the pod. Always try to play with more than, one-on-one with this deck. So you have a little bit of extra information there, knowing that you're going in and playing multiple people. These lands are not bad to have in your deck. Let's get them out of here. And then we have triomes and the like. Could use some upgrading here, or maybe even downgrading to basics. So still working on the land base. Don't have it quite figured out yet, but this deck's still a lot of blast to play, and I hardly ever get mana screwed. So triomes do work. A few extra mana fixing. Got Exotic Dorsher, Mana Confluence. I know that's another money card, but I just kind of happened upon that one. So you throw it in your favorite deck, right, when you get a card that's good. Opal Palace, Command Tower, of course. City of Brass, same situation. Reliquary Tower, I draw a lot, but I don't necessarily need to keep it in my hand, so this one's probably on the chopping block. We'll see. And just some pretty basics, as you can tell. I like the Crimson Vow Midnight Hunt, so about the only good thing that come out of those sets was, shiny black and white lands. I love them. So that's the Atraxa. Hope you guys enjoyed running through my decks. If you got any suggestions for it, let me know. If you saw anything that didn't work that great, or you got any improvements, I haven't been watching the spoiler seasons. I'm not sure what cards to be excited about. Always looking to improve. Atraxa, my favorite commander. See you next time.